Are you someone who gets easily triggered by situations or other people and later regret what you said or how you reacted? Well, welcome to my YouTube channel. My name is Elizabeth and my nickname is Liz. And in today's video, I will be sharing with you practical strategies that you can use to help you manage your anger in tricky situations, and at the same time set up healthy and clear boundaries with others. And before I start talking about those strategies, I would like to acknowledge how hard it can get to keep your cool in tricky situations, especially if you're someone who has always lived their life reacting quickly and emotionally. And speaking from experience, I used to always get in trouble with my manager because I couldn't control my reactions when I interacted with unhappy clients, and I used to get triggered as well and would say something that I would later regret. And I tried my hardest to change at that time, but I couldn't. It was just too difficult for me. One time, one of my colleagues said to me, Liz, why don't you try to count to 10 before you react in tricky situations? And at the time I was like, this is brilliant, let's try that. And then next day I was presented with a tricky situation, and then same thing happened. I overreacted and said something in the heat of the moment that I regretted later. So I understand how hard it is, and honestly there's no magic spell that I can give you to fix that immediately. It takes time, it takes self-awareness, and it requires work. It is very important to understand the underlying reason behind growing up with short temper. It is often linked to repressed emotions from our childhood time. As children, when we are faced with tricky situations that provoke an emotional response, we tend to avoid these situations completely. And we can't be blamed for it because as children, we don't have the mental capacity or ability to process that event or the emotion that is associated with it. And unfortunately, these emotions don't just disappear. They get stored in our subconscious mind. And this is why, as adults, certain triggers can bring up to the surface buried emotions from our childhood time. And this is why sometimes we tend to overreact to situations. And while we can't go back in time and change what has happened in the past, it is our responsibility as adults to manage our emotions effectively and not repress them. Because emotions are a huge part of being human. And when you repress your emotions, you are repressing a huge part of you. So the question is, how do you manage your emotions effectively in tricky situations without repressing them, and at the same time setting up clear and healthy boundaries with others? And the first strategy that I'm going to share with you today is by journaling. And at the start, when you first started to just work on yourself to manage your emotions, I would highly recommend, when something tricky or you're presented with a tricky situation and you triggered emotionally, you separate yourself and don't react at all. And the reason why I say at the start, because with time you'll get better at it. You'll be able to manage your emotions and reactions in the moment and set up clear boundaries in the moment. But it is hard when you just starting to do it. So I would recommend that when you're presented with a tricky situation, you separate yourself and don't react at all. And then all what you need to do is you get like a notebook or any book that you use to journal or write something that like write your personal stuff on. I have like a notebook like this one, and all what you need to do is write the date, write what has happened, and all we need to do is write the date, write exactly what has happened, and write exactly how it made you feel. So if you're angry and you want to start swearing at this person, you can write whatever you want. If you want to start crying, screaming, you've got all the right to express your emotions the way you feel comfortable with. And after, when you're done and you feel that you wrote everything that you need to write, you write a statement or like a sentence reassuring yourself, saying that you'll stay calm and that everything will be okay and you will deal with the situation in a calm manner. And after that, you will go on and do something that you enjoy that will change your mood. Like for example, we can go and do dancing, listening to music you like, or anything that you like doing. When you feel better after a day or a week or however long it takes you to feel better, you don't just go back and start talking to that person who triggered you as if nothing has happened. No, you need to go back and confront that person, but in a calm manner. And you need to communicate with them in a non-violent way. By communicating with them and trying to explain that what they said or did was unpleasant for you and it made you feel in a certain way, and you request them not to do this again. This is a very effective way to process your emotions, set up clear boundaries with others, and at the same time not overreact to situations and put yourself in awkward positions. If you are someone who gets easily triggered and always anxious and worried about the future, you might realize that you actually don't enjoy the moment and always live in the future. You don't live in the moment. So one thing that can really help you with overcoming this issue is by picking up a childhood hobby, a hobby that you enjoyed as a child, or you like to do it as a child but you never had the chance to. For me personally, I picked up painting because I enjoyed doing. I like to do painting as a child, but I never had the chance to do it. So I picked up painting 3 years ago, and I was shocked. I was surprised with how well I can paint. And ever since I started painting, it helped me so much with being mindful of the moment. It helped me with relaxing and tap into that creative aspect of myself. And it's even helped me with connecting to myself, and it helped me with connecting to others as well, because when you are able to connect with yourself, you will be able to connect with others at a deeper level. So I highly encourage you to pick up a hobby and start doing it once or twice a week and do it as part of your daily routine, and you will see a great difference in terms of relaxing and being mindful of the moment and enjoying the moment. One more thing that can really help you in this journey is practicing yoga. Yoga is not only good for your physical well-being, it is really good for your mental health and well-being, because studies has actually shown that yoga can help you release negative emotions that are stored in different parts of your body. I highly recommend you start doing yoga twice per week, 20 minutes each time. And you don't need to go and start joining yoga classes and start doing yoga for hours. All you need to do is just 20 minutes twice a week. And all you need to do is go on YouTube and search up yoga practices, and there's the one I prefer called the Yin Yoga. And all you need to do is just listen to the instructor and pick up a mat and just start doing what they do. And it is very good for your mental health. It relaxes you, it calms you down, it helps with flexibility, and it really puts you in a good mood, and it's very good for you. So these are the strategies I can give you today to help you overcoming this issue of being easily triggered and overreacting in tricky situations. And I know, as I said, it is hard. It's a hard and difficult process, and it takes time and constant effort. It takes self-reflection and self-awareness. However, it is possible. As I said, I was someone who was unable to manage their emotions at all, and just by doing and following the strategies I just gave you today, I am a completely different person. And I am able to think before I talk, think before I act, and I am able to manage my emotions very well, and I am living a happier and a fuller life now. And because I have done it, I'm sure that you can do it as well. And at the end of this video, I would like to remind you to stay kind and compassionate towards yourself during this journey. And I am sending you so much love. And if you think that this video has been beneficial or it has added some value to yourself, please consider liking and subscribing. And thank you so much, and I'll see you next time.